welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and tonight we're gonna take a look at the new moon in Taurus, which is taking place at the 27th of April at 3:31 p.m. That is Eastern Standard Time. And this lunar phase from a new moon to full moon, it will be in effect up until May 12th at 12:56 p.m. when the moon is going to become full in Scorpio. So tonight's tarot reading is going to be about the waning moon, the waxing moon. I'm sorry. So it's going to be about the waxing moon from new moon to full moon. The phase is called waxing for those of you who doesn't know. And the first thing that I'm usually doing is the collective reading for it, the cards for the collective reading. If you do wish to examine them for yourself, you can take a look at the thumbnail. I have placed them there. Yasmin, hello Yasmin. But I'm gonna show them to you anyway. So the first one that I drew a few hours ago, that is Three of Swords. The second card which I drew, that is 10 of Wands. And the final one that I drew, that is a Queen of Cups. These three cards. So what we have that within these couple of weeks, from April 27th to May 12th, it's busting our butts. Very, very hard work. This period is gonna be harder for some than the others, and it's gonna be harder for these of us, or for those of us, I'm sorry, who are starting new ventures, like starting up a new job, starting up a new adventure, starting up, for example, new relationships. And what these cards are showing up is we are going to be thrown into the wolves, or thrown into the deep right away, without too much time, or if any time at all, for adjustment, without any time for attunement, and so on and so forth. And can I put it in towards the tasks that we are going to have to deal with, the responsibilities, the endeavors, etc., etc., are going to be quite difficult. Not just only difficult, but also demanding, if you will, especially demanding. However, accomplishing those tasks, endeavors, activities, requests, etc., will carry on with them quite a big rewards, really, really amazing rewards. So the affinity of the next couple of weeks is going to be a hard work in repayment of a truly big rewards. And another thing that it is quite important here to be acknowledged is that this is like a trial period, right? This is like a test, whether we are the person for the job, or whether we aren't the person for the job. That is from the Queen of Cups to the Three of relative to the Three of Swords. And so we can count or rely on this position, whether that is a work position, whether that is a relationship position, just for the time being. And after that, okay, after these couple of weeks, assessment follows, at least according to these cards, and based on that assessment, now we will be able to make some plans for the future, whether being able to count on, okay, either that job or that friend and so on, or we can't. So if there are times where we have to put 101% into it, where we have to really, really shine, these couple of weeks are the weeks for us to do so. So that is the collective reading. Now there are going to be 12 readings just like this one for each star sign. I'm going to run down the ecliptic, starting up with Aries and ending up with the Pisces as per usual. Bear in mind that these are going to be readings for your star signs, so they very seldom are going to happen to be exactly aligned and tuned for your personal situation, for the goals that you're chasing or troubles you're facing. And for personalized reading, you can always go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you're going to see a full list of my services and also their pricing. Now, other than that, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support it, you can just subscribe for the channel if you haven't already, or leave a like, leave a comment as well if you feel so. And finally, if you do wish to support the show financially, you can do so using Super Chat or a PayPal, which link you also going to find in the description down below. And anyone who does either of these things are going to have a reading at the end of the stream that is guaranteed, personalized reading. And should your super chat carry no inquiry, the reading is going to be how this new moon in Taurus, how this waxing moon is going to affect you personally. So with that said, starting up with the first star sign here, which is going to be Aries. Now you can keep up with which star sign I'm reading for through the glyph being displayed here on my right hand side. And if you're watching it on a video, you can just skim ahead until you see your star sign and just listen to the reading. Hello, Amelia. So, yeah, about the super chat, Yasmin, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Yasmin. I have already placed you into the list. So, yeah, at the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading. Okay, the first one for Aries, that will be Page of Cups. Second card, that will be Temperance. And the final one, this is going to be the Devil. You know, when you eat, or if you like sweets, and when you eat too much sweets to be okay for your well-being, well, for Taurus, that is the parable that we do have for you. That is the figurative display here of these cards. So whatever it is that you are going to face, whether a job, whether a friend, okay, with a lot of demands for you, well, this enterprise is going to happen to be the one that you would really like. And it will be such in a such a manifestation that it will affect you. Can I place it? For example, that is going to be the friend that you are gonna give too much time than they deserve, or the job that you're gonna give too much effort than it requires, to a point where you may place it at the top of your list as a priorities, where other things will need that place at that point. So this is going to be a lunar phase in which you will truly gonna fall in love with something that is gonna pay off big time. And one of the payoffs here, as with the Devil card falls next to the Page of Cups, is going to be, like I said, a big love and fulfillment of yearnings that you have, whether you yearn for money and you are gonna fall in love with the job, and the job at the same time is gonna make money, okay, or whether you yearn for attention and you're gonna fall in love with someone and that person is gonna give you the attention you hope to find. But the thing is that there is going to be, like I said, a too much of an attachment from your behalf to the enterprise itself, again, whether it is a job or a relationship. And to a point where it could become the only thing that you do see in front of yourself. Now, this enterprise, it's going to be a life-changing for you. This change is not going to happen right away. It's going to take place step by step or bit by bit. But definitely, once it appears, you are going to start seeing it looming on the horizon. And this enterprise also is going to make you reassess certain positions you do have about life and also about people. Hello, little lady. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so that was Aries. So Aries, you're gonna fall in love with something or with someone, and it will be addicting. That is what I can say. Okay, next, Taurus. Thank you, Tarot de Amor. Uh, right, Taurus, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Seven of Wands, one of the two things. Uh, the first one, so I was just thinking about which one to start. So the first one is that this lunar phase may introduce you to someone, to a person. It could be a man or it could be a woman, and this person will be very amiable and friendly towards you. And the reason for that is because they're finding themselves a bit stuck with their endeavor, and so they will require your intervention with it. Of course, they are going to repay you in certain way. So this is the minor application of the energy. For some of you, that energy could be very minor, like I said, and just got yourself introduced to a person that you can lend a helping hand into or at, and that is going to bring you a additional rewards to those that you are usually are meant to get. But I do think that very few of you are going to have to face that manifestation of the waxing moon. Most of you Tauruses are gonna have a unique task. This is the second application, a unique task given to you, whether by your boss or whether by your supervisor or whether by a family member, that no one else knows about it. And by no one else knowing about it, they won't be able to interfere in any way. So you're going to happen to work in secret or work in silence or work in discretion, if you will, within the next couple of weeks. And there is going to be a lot of requirements to the task itself. And those requirements are going to be very fairly simple enough for you not to get confused or not knowing how to go about certain stuff. But in the same time, they are going to be a bit I'm gonna use that word, a bit oversaturated. And so the whole process of going forward with this secret task, it will be a bit tedious. Well, I would say quite tedious. But again, by the end of these couple of weeks, should you keep up with it, you are gonna reap an amazing rewards as well. But the good thing about you, Taurus, it is that within these couple of weeks, it's very unlikely for you to face any kind of opposition or any kind of competition also. And even if you do, that opposition or a competition won't be able to do much about your progress. Okay, so that was Taurus. Next will be Gemini. Thank you, little lady. The Lovers, which by the way symbolizes Gemini. Three of Pentacles. And it is the Emperor. All right. Within the next couple of weeks, you are going to be expected to do certain stuff. So I don't know how to put it into words, but you will end up in a situation that is going to resolve most of your concerns, whether concerns, I don't know, with your time, or whether concerns with money, okay, or whether, why not concerns in love as well, while it is less likely with the alignment of these cards. This situation that you're going to become a part of, or it will revolve around you in general, like I said, is going to resolve a lot of your problems and a lot of your concerns. It will be a perfect fit as well to your liking, if I may put it that way. However, within this situation, a lot is going to be expected from you, and a lot is going to rely on you as well. So if I have to guess, this is either a super important project or very serious job that you are going to either start or transition into. And there are going to be also other people involved, like clients or colleagues, and expecting that you are going to get any help from them, like these people holding your hand, waiting for you to, again, like I said, into the collective reading attune, to adjust. This is not gonna happen, guys. These are people who are not there to help you through your development. You are expected to be developed enough to do your job or to perform your duties. And there are going to be quite a few ways how you can either do your job or perform your duties. Is all going to be about your personal preference, how you're going to go about these things. So you know, here is that either of the ways how you can perform your duties are going to carry on a benefits and also drawbacks. Okay, so there won't be any, how can I put it into words? There won't be any right or wrong decision here. There won't be any right or wrong way how you can do the job. It all falls to your personal preferences, like I said, and as well a principles. And if we're talking about job, I would like to advise you one thing. Looking at these cards, you are going to work to make money, not to make any friends, right? So behave in such a way. Okay, going next, Cancer. 7 of Pentacles, the Magician, uh, Page of Cups, Hmm. These cards are talking about either a bet placed or a deal struck, um, or a negotiations already wrapped up. Okay, uh, an enterprise that it is already pretty much invested into, that had been expected to be invested into. And these couple of weeks are going to be the weeks of unfoldment. And any kind of attempt to change the rules or to change the conditions into it are going to be, I would say, not favorable for you. So, if I have to summarize for you, Cancer, these are going to be the weeks that you are going to reap what you sow. And at least according to these cards, the reaping should be good. It should be favorable for you, and it should allow you to make rather quite of a good transition into some kind of a better future. You definitely won't be screwed. That is what I can say here, unless you try to be a smart ass and twist and turn so you can get more from it than the one that have been agreed upon at the start of these, like I said, either negotiations or a deal struck and or a promise given and so on and so forth. So just make your do and enjoy the rewards from it. Okay, next, that will be Leo. The Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands. Again, this is generalized reading. So I'm going to say a specific situation here because these cards are very, how can I put it into words, prominent for it, but it may manifest in a different way. So there is going to be a conversation within the next couple of weeks, a conversation that is going to put the other side exactly in the place and in the situation that you are going to have all the um, all the strengths. You're going to have not just only the upper hand, but you're going to clutch their neck in your iron fist. So basically at that point, whatever you say goes, and you're going to have a lot of ways how to transform and to change, uh, you know, the enterprise you do have with that person or with these people completely in your favor to make once in a lifetime change there. Okay, so that may be a super important and honest conversation with your spouse, and you can basically make them behave or do or go forward for whatever you want. But if it is not through a conversation, what will happen is that seemingly randomly, the circumstances will align completely in your favor, and you are going to have the awareness to realize that immediately. So immediately you will be able to say, now it's my time. Now the situation is perfect. Now the circumstances are perfect, and if I don't act now, I should be remain silent forever. It sounded like a vow, but you know that's what we have here. And that's why within these couple of weeks, Leo, you need to have that readiness to jump into action immediately and take advantage of the perfect conditions and perfect circumstances. Hey, Jasmine, thank you for the 20. Let me put you into the list. And at the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading. Hold on a second. Oops. Again, thank you. All right, so that was Leo. Our next is going to be Virgo. Oh, that's great to hear. I hope you're going on a better place. Page of Swords, Seven of Cups, Three of Pentacles, not a good influence, guys. Not a good influence. I don't know if you're gonna like what I'm gonna say. So what we have here is that this waxing moon is gonna influence you in a rather, I would say, unfavorable way. So what happens here is that within these couple of weeks from April 27th to May 12th, you will have a very different understanding, view, and ideas from the people that you are collaborating with. Whether you're co-workers, whether you're friends, okay, or whether family members, and so on and so forth. And based on how aggressive you are on these things, on your ideas or your thoughts, your assessments, and so on and so forth, will determine whether these people are going to keep up supporting you through your development or not. So the more aggressive you are, the more conflicts you're going to make. And the more conflicts you're going to make, the more people you're going to push away from you, because these people are going to see your ideas or ways how you want to go about your stuff or your thoughts super unrealistic. Well, I can't say really super, but very unrealistic, that they can't be done, or it's they are impractical, and so on and so forth. And I can't say really that you cannot convince them into your righteousness, but it's going to be pretty futile in the next in these couple of weeks. So if you want to convince someone into an idea that you have, or it came to you within these couple of weeks, it will be best to wait those weeks to go away. It's going to be best to wait until the moon becomes full in Scorpio, and then try out into the next moon phase, which is going to be waning moon. Now, it will be best if you keep them for yourself, but how you can use that energy to your benefit, it is to make a purge, especially into your social circle. So draw a line and make an assessment, examine which people that you are associating yourself with does not contribute in any way for your well-being or for the development of your social circle, and just, make a clean break. Okay, so that was Virgo. Next, Libra. Seven of Swords, Ace of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. Give me a second. So the main topic for you, Libra, for that phase of the moon is going to be to do something for yourself, for a change, and especially to make claims for yourself. So that phase of the moon, or this period, April 27th to May 12th, you will provoke a lot of discussions, conversations, or straightaway negotiations about how one thing, what is in it for you? What is in it for you in your relationship, for example, or what is in it for you from that collaboration, or from that project, and so on and so forth. And what is going to come to your attention, it is that for the most part, it's tied to, what I mean, it is tied to the growth of the collective, and that you will have to sacrifice a lot in order to gain something from it, which is going to be a realization that you're not gonna like a lot. And for some of you, that may be the breaking point on giving up on projects, on giving up on relationships, and so on and so forth, because it's just some of you, I can't make choices for you guys, but some of you are going to realize this is a too much price to pay, paying dignity for money, sacrificing your dignity for money, or sacrificing your freedom for influence, and so on and so forth. Because what is going to be the price that you're going to have to pay for the development you will have in front of you it is the contrary to your righteousness. So if you think that you do deserve respect, respect is going to be the price. Or if you do think that you do deserve attention, attention is going to be the price. And by the look of these cards, I think that these are going to be rather more secluded couple of weeks for you, where you will think about it and you are going to make a conscious decision, which is better, to follow your personal agenda or to be successful in the framework of our society. Each one of you is going to take a different choice. So some of you are going to decide that it's better to go with the flock, others that it is better to go on your own. But either way, there is going to be a sacrifice that needs to be made. So that was Libra. Next is Scorpio. Queen of Cups, Page of Wands. It's the Knight of Wands. I'm sorry, it's not Page, it's Knight of Wands. And then is Justice. For a second, guys. All right. Empty. Thank you for the 20. Thank you for the 20. Thank you, MT. Let me put you into the list. We're back to the Scorpio reading. It's about settling. Whether settling on a way how you're going to do how we are going to do our job, whether it is on a settling about what job should we do, or whether settling on a certain partner. But within these couple of weeks, we're going to have that big opportunity to make a settlement, to settle on something of those lines that will be solid and reliable enough to make us plan a future. And what is important here to be known is that not everything is gonna fall on us to make a decision upon. So the other people that are going to be involved in it are going to take their share of responsibility, and it's not going to feel like we are carrying the whole project, or the whole job, or the whole relationship, if you will, moving forward. And everyone that is involved in the situation is going to be pretty sincere, discreet about it as well, and very amicable, depending on what kind of a situation we are going to be into. But definitely there is going to be other people involved. Important thing to be known is that we need to be mature about it rather than scampering around and jumping from option to option, changing our minds about one thing or another. And other thing it is that this is a friendly type of endeavor, right? We are all friends in it, even if it's not agreed upon moving forward. So what is going to be expected from us is always to be there for the others that are involved in this enterprise. So if it is about a business, it will be expected always to be there for our clients, regardless of the time that we are called. That is just for an example here given. Okay, next, Sagittarius. Again, Queen of Cups, the Moon, Four of Cups. So Sagittarius, you guys are gonna end up being stuck with something, or at least this is how it's gonna look like at first. Whether stuck with some kind of a project, whether stuck with some kind of a person, or whether stuck at some place. Okay. Stuck, for example, with the choice of your spouse for a vacation. So this is how it's gonna feel at first, that you are stuck with it and you wish to be the things to be different, the circumstances to be different, but alas, they can't be changed at that point, and you have to go about with the enterprise. However, this feeling is going to give way very quickly to the feeling of fulfillment, because the more you make, for example, your research, or the more you think about it, or the more you go about its development, the more you're going to see that there is so much more into it than just the the initial assessment of yours. And what will happen here, at least according to these cards, is that you are going to go about and live with that enterprise for a very long time, because this enterprise is going to happen to be exactly what you are meant for. So what we have here is that you may end up being stuck with the new colleague, and that appears after a couple of weeks that you are meant to be together. Or you may end up being stuck with a destination you have to go that you don't want, at least at first, but when you go there, it happens that you are meant to go there so you can meet someone or do something that you are meant to do. So this lunar phase provokes a predisposition that is going to set you on a path you are meant to walk. And if you have a question whether you are on the right path or not, if you aren't, you are about to be after these couple of weeks. And the way how you are going to recognize that direction is when you feel very, I don't want to say the word distraught, more like insecure about your future. So the moment you do feel insecure about your future, about a certain enterprise, well, that is the enterprise you are meant to be a part of. Okay, next that will be Capricorn. The World, Ace of Wands, Eight of Cups. So this this lunar phase is going to put a stop. I don't want to say an end because it's not an end. It's more like a stop of a venue. Is going to freeze, whether it's going to freeze your progress. It's going to be a freeze of a progress, at least for now. So whether it's going to freeze your progress at work, or it's going to freeze your progress in your love life, or it's going to freeze your progress in making money, and so on and so forth. And one of the biggest reasons, I'm sorry, why the progress is going to be freezed is because the conditions are not going to be ideal uh, right now. It may freeze, for example, your progress into searching for a real estate to buy. And the more you look, the more you realize that now is just not the time. I do apologize. So the progress is going to be freezed, but this isn't going to be forever. The future, at least according to these cards, is going to present you with a much better perspectives to do and to accomplish that target of yours. It's just like I said, now is not going to be the time, and you are going to realize that in these couple of weeks. So you may feel battered, you may feel down, you may feel like, well, I really hate that word, but these cards are prominent a person to feel that way, like a loser, okay, like you missed your chance, but that's not the case. Okay, and imagine that you are looking to start a new relationship. You are finally ready to share your life with someone, and you look around, you start going out on dates, and you do realize that all the people you're going on a dates with are just jackasses, right? They're jerks, and you can't find a proper match no matter how much you try. And that's because the proper match is not near yet, but it's about to be, just not in these couple of weeks. So it's important that you do not give up to manifest your goal and to, manifest your target. And do not get yourself discouraged just because you're not seeing immediate results. Like I said, at least according to these cards, right now, the circumstances are very unfavorable. And if you do wait a little bit longer, they will align, and the future holds for you a much better perspectives. And to top it all off here with that Ace of Wands, even if you do find some kind of a match, whether a match in a project or whether a match in relationship, with that Ace of Wands to the world, that match cannot offer you anything you don't already have. So it will be like a parasite, for a lack of better expression here. Okay. Next one, Aquarius. Knight of Wands, Eight of Swords, the Tower for Aquarius. within that full moon, new moon, I'm sorry, to a full moon, how can I explain that? Um, it's a good thing for Aquarius. Um, I would say that way. There are things which are out of our reach, and I'm saying ours because I am rising Aquarius. So things that are outside of our reach, or that have been denied, or that have been forbidden, and that we couldn't shoot for it, for them, or for it. Well, this waxing moon will give us with, or will reward us, if you will, with the opportunity to do so. We are gonna find a way, and in my country we do have a parable for it. I will not gonna say it because it's gonna sound a bit stupid, okay? um, but it goes in the lines of something like the poor man is the devil himself, because it comes up with ways that usually the indulged one is not gonna even think about it. So within these couple of weeks, we are gonna figure out a pretty brilliant maneuvers, how to attract the client that doesn't want to have anything to do with us, or how to impress the person that just doesn't want to look at us, and so on and so forth. So acting upon these enterprising instincts is going to benefit us in a very, very a big way. We are gonna break down certain limits that have been bestowed upon ourselves from other people, and why not personal limits like we have bestowed upon ourselves, and that will allow us to rebuild. Okay, that will allow us to restart something into our lives, whether to restart our love life or business life, or why not as well social life. And going forward, the only thing that is going to be required is not going back on our actions or on our words in order to get to the very end of the enterprise. Okay, and last but not least, that is going to be Pisces. The Fool, Queen of Wands, uh, Knight of Cups. So that may be literally everything, but it is a newness in Pisces life. New job, new friend, new relationship, a new idea, yes, but less likely. Okay, a new start, if you will. That the condition here is that it will have nothing to do with the old things. So your old accomplishments and your your old mistakes will not gonna count going forward. And within this, whether again new job, friendship, relationship, whatever the case, the sky is your limit, or the world is your oyster. So you can go for as far as you can here. And at least for now, what happens it is that you are going to be more than qualified to accomplish 100% of it. So imagine that you are hired for the very first time being a manager. That is a very valid way how that energy could manifest for you. And while you may have doubts that you will be able to handle that, because it is first time you're going to be manager like ever, you will be more than qualified to assign the proper work to the proper people that are, you know, aligned for it, if I may express it that way, that are going to do the job without any problems whatsoever. So this enterprise, while it's going to happen to be something very new for you, you will prevail into it. The other example is you attract a person that very handsome, by the way, someone that is going to answer all of your relationship criterias, and you say all the right words, you are going to do all the right moves to impress them to the full capacity. And so, like I said, the sky is going to be your limit. The only thing that you should not do or mention even old stuff. So it's like starting completely clean, like this is your first relationship ever, like this is your first job ever, or like this is your first friendship ever. And yeah, there are going to be stuff you will have to do or say that you will not gonna like with everything. You know, you should count it as a coin. The coin has two sides, heads and tails, so you can't have one without the other. But it's just part of the deed. It's just part of the enterprise. And it's going to be very important to keep your options open and not get yourself ossified in your expectations as well. But instead just go about as the situations arise. So it's important as well to be well, what is the word here? A unattached into expectations and as well into ways how to go about the enterprise. So that was for the 12th. And now the super chat readings are going to follow. So anyone who supported the stream financially through super chat or PayPal, you guys are going to have a reading now. Let me get the cards for a personal readings. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. First one, that will be Yasmin. All right, Yasmin. Those are your cards. So this waxing moon is going to put an end to a confusions and problems, difficulties, if you will, in your social circle. So if you have any fights, arguments, or problems with friends, they are about to end in the next couple of weeks under the condition that you do not ask any questions and you do not raise any issues at all, or especially if you don't place any ultimatums whatsoever. So just play dumb, if I may put it that way. And so what is going to happen is that the relationship you do have with these people are going to start becoming more and more harmonious. And you may ask, well, what is the point? Well, the point is that these friends that you can improve your significantly, you can improve your relationship with, are going to play a very major role into you furthering your goal into the future. So you may need their help, or you may need their connections. They may happen to be a valuable connection moving forward into the future. So that is like a preparation to fix what is broken with a like I said, connections going forward into the future. Just don't say the obvious, just don't ask questions, don't dig deep and seek the truth, if I may put it that way. And should you be confronted, always leave a back door for them to walk away from the confrontation, because it's just not needed. And as a result, it's very likely that by the end of that lunar phase, which is May 12th, you are going to end up with a very, very harmonious social circle that everybody is going to be content being not just only a friend, but also to help you with your enterprises. So that is how the waxing moon is going to affect you personally. Okay. Next we have Jasmine. Jasmine, those are your cards. So within these couple of weeks, a discontent is going to be discussed. Now, that discontent will go both ways. You will be discontent by someone's performance. Someone will be discontent by your performance as well. All right, so it's going to be a overall discontent. And the reason is not going to be because the job isn't done or the target isn't met. I'm sorry. The question is going to be about the way how have been accomplished. So just to give you an example, your employer has a different perspective than yours, how you have to do your job. You do your job, you get the same result at the end, but they are unhappy with the process. They are unhappy with the procedure. You can do the same. You can be in the very same position. And that discontent will be discussed over most likely the phone. And so what if you allow that discontent to spread, what can happen here is to block some potentials you may have with a client or with a coworker, okay, or even with a potential spouse, a potential lover, potential romantic interest. You may be discontent with them and make a huge issue from it. For example, you may be discontent how they wash their dishes, or that they are not placing their shoes at the proper place that you are expecting to place them, and so on and so forth. So it's very important here, at least from your side, to consider that everyone has their own ways. Hopefully, people that are going to be discontent with you are going to consider the same thing. But for the most part here, you are going to look others under a microscope, and you are going to be looked under a microscope as well. So expect, how can I put it into words, confrontations into these couple of weeks where the disagreements are going to be described and displayed. So these are not going to be exactly pleasant conversations in these couple of weeks for the most part. But if you present yourself accountable and also a person who can be relied upon, I don't think that they're going to do any damage at all over your professional and personal relationships as well. And these relationships should continue on going forward, unobstructed, so to speak. But if you dive and dig into that discontent, then the damage could be rather quite severe. And last but not least, that will be MT, which wants to know about her friend. So what do I need to know about my friend? It is what you are asking. So let's have a look. She want to say thank you for the 20. It's not too late. Okay, you want a message? You are gonna have one. All right, MT, those are the cards. What's going on is that this person is preparing some kind of surprise like a gift, at least according to the cards that I'm seeing here. So that person will deliver to you a gift, a bonus, some kind of an information that will be considered like a gift, for example. And what will happen here is a couple of things. First, it was not needed, right? For you, that would be a bit unnecessary. It's not like you're not gonna like the gift or the bonus or whatever, but it will be unnecessary. And the second thing, which is the more concerning one, it is that you are gonna feel obliged. No different than the situation where the boy is gifting a flowers to a girl, and while the girl doesn't like the boys for the most cases than others, the girl feel obliged to go out on a date while she doesn't want to. Okay. So even if you do feel obliged, that doesn't mean that you have to go about, for example, returning the favor or returning the gift, and so on and so forth. But what is going on is that that person is preparing you a surprise that is supposed to be a pleasant surprise. And if they're acting weird, it's because they want to spoil it. That is what you need to know. Hopefully they will be able to deliver. These cards aren't saying whether they will deliver or not. Hopefully they will be able to. Okay. So last but not least, that will be Shaughnessy with a message for the waxing moon. Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, MT, the reason is because that person wants to have a harmonious relationship with you. Well, that's pretty obvious, but you need to know that this isn't forced thing. I mean, they are pretty content doing it. Well, I don't know. It could be. Well, I'm not saying that there is empty, but it could be. Just go forward with it and see where it's coming from. All right, Shaughnessy, these are the cards. The message is that there is a person who has more towards you than a friendship, if I may say it that way. And the shock is that this person is a woman. So if you aren't into women, I do believe that we're talking about an end of for what it seems here, a pretty long friendship, or at least acquaintance. That is your message. Other than that, Shauna say, that is a period of a couple of weeks of decisiveness. Your message is that you need to be decisive and make bets, okay? Risk stuff. And how can I put it into words? Don't be afraid to walk away. But yeah, the big deal is that it will come to your attention that, you know, a woman has feelings for you. So hopefully you are going to be able to deal with the situation in the most favorable way possible for yourself, that is. So with that said, guys, this is going to be for tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully you liked it. Thank you so much for your attendance and as well for your generosity. And we are going to see each other Sunday. Until then, bye.